Hey everybody, CJ Vecchio, Festival Director of the Chicago Horror Film Festival, and we have Joshua Brucker, a director of Mothman, and one of the movies that we have that gets submitted to this year's festival. So how you doing, Joshua?
I'm not too bad. How about yourself?
Doing good, doing good. So a little bio about you. You're a Chicago boy, right? I take it?
Close, just the suburbs, but
So
I
just the
know
burbs,
kind
close
of eats
enough.
us. Yeah.
Close enough, close enough. And you're a founding member of the Horror Dads Productions. You're also an author of a short story collection entitled When Darkness Comes. And you just wrapped, actually, it's already out, your debut feature film, The Mothman. Then let's get some questions down. You know what? Tell us about your movie, Mothman.
Well, to kind of start it out, obviously a lifelong horror film fan, and I kind of was given the opportunity to set aside some time to be able to make a film. I've always been a cryptid fan. You know, you got Bigfoot,
Oh, yeah.
Mothman's one of them, Yeti, Loch Ness Monster, all those things. And I kind of wanted to do something like that, and I felt like the Mothman story was different than some of the run-of-the-mill Bigfoot movies that we've seen. And I wanted to sort of approach something that people would maybe consider to be more of a, like a creature, but also kind of highlight some of the supernatural aspects to it. And hopefully I accomplished that with it.
Yeah, yeah. Now, where is the movie based? Like, what state? Because it wasn't. You're Eastern Illinois, right? That's where you're located.
Yeah, I live about halfway through the state,
Okay.
so pretty much eastern central Illinois. But we filmed in Ohio, and it takes place in a fictional town in Ohio. But anybody who's from that region knows that Point Pleasant sits on the river right there, dividing Ohio and West Virginia.
And how many days did it take for you guys to film it?
We filmed the movie in about 4.5 days, actually.
Really? It's pretty impressive. And how many locations? How many locations did you guys have? Because I watched it, and it looked like you had a lot. So how many locations did you film?
We moved around quite a bit in the area that we were filming. And at the very end, the last day of filming, everybody that was involved with the scene decided we took a trip into Point Pleasant, and the final shot for the film was it's actually from the film where the brother is video blogging his trip to Point Pleasant. So that kind of put the bow on the present there.
Nice. Did you guys see anything or experience anything kind of crazy, supernatural when he went down there?
No, I wish we had spent more time sort of looking through the bunkers. And we did walk through the museum together, those of us that were there, and that was pretty cool. And our assistant director, she did go out to the bunkers with her husband. And I don't know if they experienced anything, but it's a place that people often tag with spray cans. You might be able to see something about our film out there. So.
Nice. Now, what challenges did you face during the production?
During production, I'd say we ran into two things that we didn't anticipate. One was recasting a role within 8 hours, and being so remote that we didn't really have an area I could pull any talent from. So we had to sort of move some of our players around and give other people more screen time, things like that. So that was kind of unfortunate. And honestly, one thing I'm going to take away from this production is the lack of the ability to communicate over the internet. When you're out in the middle of nowhere and everybody is spread across the map, when you can't call somebody or text them and ask them where they're at, it's pretty problematic because we were pretty rural, and I kind of knew that going in, but you don't really know until you're the third day in, and you have no signs of life.
Yeah. That's crazy. Now, what do you think is the most important skills for a film director to have?
I'm kind of new to all this, and there's quite a bit that I learned even about myself while we were making it. And your ability to slow down and pay attention, I think, is very important. Making sure that everything runs smoothly. I know that sometimes you have support from the crew that kind of helps with that. But if you run kind of, a thinner crew like most indie productions do, it's often left in the director's, plate. But just having the patience to work with people too. And I'm not saying patience as in dealing with difficult people, but on indie projects, it really does become a team effort, you know.
Definitely.
And one thing I realized too while filming Mothman is that you have to be open to suggestion also, even though yes, you are the director, this is your show. You're also working with a lot of other creative types too, and it's important that if you're going to bring them into your production, you sort of hear their side of the story, because especially when it comes to actors and the characters that they the roles that they fill, and that if you want the best performance out of your actor, you're going to have to let them take that character to the next level, and sometimes that is deviating from the script or working in new lines or trying to just flip an entire scene altogether and just make it work. um,
Definitely.
so I think your ability to that patience and work with others is very important.
Yeah, that's one of the top ones, and just like I said, the flexibility of it. Now, what do you
Yeah.
have? What upcoming projects do you have? Since Mothman's already finished, yeah, obviously you entered it in our festival and other festivals. But what other upcoming projects do you have?
Yeah.
You're looking to.
So right now we're just rolling into pre-production with the Woodman, and that sort of follows three individuals in the mountains, Great Smoky Mountains region of Tennessee. And it
Hmm.
all takes place on one night, and they happen to find themselves facing off against a clan of feral humans.
No.
And I think, and it's another found footage approach that I'm taking to this, and it's the style that I feel is the most entertaining for me to watch,
Hmm.
because I know that the style that Mothman ended up being is much different than what I would watch, as in like popping a bag of popcorn and sitting down and watching it at home.
Hmm.
Um, it does convey a lot of the things that um, I wanted to highlight as far as like the Mothman mythos, but when it comes to the Woodman, it is very much in your face. The action starts and it doesn't stop, and we've got a lot of gore going on too.
Nice. Now for Mothman, it's a found footage genre film. Like, what kind of cameras did you guys use?
Yep. So my cinematographer Jake Robinson, he used a Zcam
Okay.
E2 M4. Uh, kind of unsure what lens he used because he kind
Mm.
of swapped them out back and forth. But he's the
Yeah.
technical guy. As long as it looks good, I'm happy with it. But I think the footage came out looking super professional. That
Yeah.
was one thing that I really wanted to do too. Is I wanted to elevate it a bit more than because I guess you got that stigma with found footage, right? Where people just automatically assume that you could just film it with a cell phone, carry on, and in some fancy, particular situation, you might be able to pull that off. But I did want to kind of give it that more professional feel, and I feel like that, the equipment that we use kind of brought that.
Nice, nice. And what was the crew? What was your crew count on Mothman?
Well, let's see. It kind of changed from day to day. Some people were able to make it some days. Some people weren't. It was myself, my cinematographer. We didn't have sound. That was all with the on board with the camera.
With the cameras?
Um, yeah. Um, we had a our cooking staff doubled as production associates, so that kind of worked. So there's two right there. I had an assistant director and a couple other PAs. I think maybe crew wise, I think probably about 10 on average is probably a good
Yeah, that's about right for
thing.
a small indie production. But no, super excited. Like, you're the first guest. We're planning on doing this feature once a week, maybe even twice a week. So super excited. So your trailer, we're going to show your trailer right after this. And everybody that is part of the festival, the new award we're doing is the best trailer. So, but it has to be downloadable, and we'll put that on our YouTube page with Mothman is. So if you go to our YouTube channel, click like on Mothman, it's all based on likes. I just want to say thank you, Josh, and excited having you on here. Excited about looking
thank you.
at the future on your films projects that you have. So, and everybody,
thank you.
The trailer of Mothman right after this.
We encountered something tonight. Something weird. I felt like